Welcome to a new playlist I am entitling League of Legends Toxicity. In the star of this first episode, I would like to introduce myself, Anudir, and this guy on Tristana. The game starts pretty simply. I get my leash, and I decide I'm going to go for a full clear. Now, it's a shame that ally chat doesn't show in replays. I didn't realize this. I should have recorded it manually, and I probably will try doing that from here on out. But not even a few minutes in, and Tristana is telling me to gank early, and that if I don't gank by 8 minutes, that she's gonna int or AFK. I can't remember which of the two she threatened. I think she threatened to int, but that immediately put me on guard that this was gonna be a rough game. I remember telling her that's not how this works. Now over here in lane, they're already getting a little poked down. Now meanwhile mid, there's a gank coming off, to which I respond by setting up an ambush. Immediately we start going to town on this Kayn. He has no HP. I dumpster him, and I waste my flash, thinking we could do more. That's on me. Not the best move, but at least I'm not this Tristana, whose Ashe wisely backs away with no HP. Now, I'm not going to sit here and suggest that she should have left, or what. However, what you most certainly do not do when you're alone with half HP against two champions is walk up and try to trade with them when you could just CS under tower, because then you might get f***ing killed. At some point, they start doing dragon, and they see this. Tristana's in lane, Ashe is nearby, Malphite's coming in, and the exchange starts. But here comes Malphite. Skadoosh. And together he and Ashe do a lot of work. Trist hops in. And so do I. We secure it. Down here, Ashe dies. Jhin dies. And I cut off the Kayn. Good teamwork, right? We even make the Lucian flash. Now here's the problem with being a toxic piece of shit. Having threatened to int by 8 minutes if I didn't gank, I actually didn't want to gank her. Even though it would hurt me if a play was available there, I just don't want to help this player. Now fortunately I get over that childish impulse and I say screw it. They're pushed way up, I'm gonna go for it. Now Tristana even says she wants to go. She pings right there. And I walk over a ward, I say screw it. And I'm rolling in deep. Now thankfully Gangplank's paying attention, but for somebody who really wanted to gank, they took their sweet time, and instead of going for the Jhin, goes for the Soraka for some reason, but I catch the Jhin. Oh wait, let's tower dive without our team. Burns heal, and keeps staying for some f***ing reason. Tells us we should go, and then it, dies, naturally. But here's the poetic part. Ping, 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 ping. Somehow, that stupidity was our fault. So I gotta pause. Pings that she wants to go in. I gank, they don't initiate, or they're way too far behind, which is okay. Thankfully, Gangplank's paying attention in ults. Leaps in, and goes for the higher HP support that is deeper in the lane instead of the Jhin, which is right there, which was okay because I still finished the kill, and then leaps under tower without a wave and without our team. I guess just assuming we would follow, and then burns heal, and dances around with no HP, and no wave and no teammates, pinging like a madman, and then walks into their death. And then blames us for not helping. Yeah. And I was literally right here as I'm pathing between wolves and my blue, where I realize I'm muting her. Like right here, I mute her. I'm done. And while she's tower diving and doing stupid shit and blaming her team, I'm up here, taking advantage of opportunities. Meanwhile, she's down here just spam pinging, I wanna go, even though there's a massive wave coming up. Like, just farm, you're behind. Now, this is where more stupidity occurs. She is far away from her ADC. And I mean, granted, they almost do something, but the exhaust comes way too late. There is a TP coming out of our top laner, but it does very little to really save the day. Again, this is the player that was constantly berating me. Even though at this point, I am 3-0-2 with the highest CS on the team. In fact, the highest CS in the game. Now we see them doing dragon, so we collapse. We're not going to talk about that flash. The Wukong comes in, solo. Wastes his ult, to which we punish him. And then Kayn hints back in. Now I'm so far ahead at this point, I have 3 levels on their ADC. So I don't really take that much damage. The Soraka flashes away. It's a good play. We do stuff. Little counter jungling. Now, Tristana rocket jumps forward ahead of the wave and just takes tower damage and dies. I suppose? I'm trying to give her a good reason. Maybe she wanted to back and buy, and she would just do some tower damage, and the death would be about the same speed. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember how fast a back is, but... What? And, well, I also get a little ambitious, you know. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Well, I'm casting stones, might as well throw some shade at myself. I'm back to clearing jungle. Now, there was a team fight top that broke out. It didn't go well for our team. Surprise, motherfucker! Until my intervention. I knew that Kayn was going to do Kayn things, might go through the wall, so I kind of dispersed some damage a little bit. And I see the Wukong coming back in, I back out, and back to farming. Now, to Trista's credit, but she did some damage to tower, and your boy gets rift, and soon after returns to farming. Now I'm huge, and I'm ready to make some plays. And I know that one of them just walked away, and Lucian just stepped way too far forward. But the monkey comes back, and the Kayn shows up. Sorry, Gangplank. But in comes Malphite. I get zoned. I walk in, spack. A little bit of strange pathing, and now my second death. Now, we just had vision on all of them mid. We knew they were heading to dragon. In fact, the notification's right there. And I get it, Trist. You gotta take the tower out. But predictably, they collapse. Suffice it to say, it doesn't end well. But your boy says, fuck it. I'm gonna take this rift. Take out mid tower. And top laner. Should I have collapsed? Maybe. But at least I wasn't being a toxic piece of shit when I was making mistakes, if a mistake was even made. Speaking of mistakes being made, Lucian just zoned me out, and didn't think I would stick around. Well, I take that red buff, and I make him pay the price for it. And for some reason, Trist is just raging with pings at Ashe and mid. For God knows what reason. I don't know. I just don't know. But I guess Trist hasn't learned her lesson from getting her ass handed to her in lane, and she hops right in. Now they're confident at this point. As you can see on the all chat, they're calling for Baron, though I didn't know this at the time. And I would like to finish that kill, but death's sweet embrace finally. So they get Baron Asher, as you might assume. I start doing red, and this toxic piece of shit thinks, oh, I'm 80 carry, I'm gonna get red. No, I am not giving you red. First of all, I'm doing much better work with it than you are. Second of all, you're a toxic piece of shit. Why would I give you any advantage? I'm gonna take them all for myself. Thank you very much. Alright, so things get a little crazy right here. Dragon's about to spawn. I want to get lane priority. Kayn pops out and starts slapping Gangplank. Ashe is kind of floating. And then there's Trist, who somehow has a level advantage over Jhin, even though he's got the CS lead, and he's got more kill participation. I don't know how she pulled it off, but I suppose maybe she had more time in lane alone. Whatever the case is, we only have vision on 2 of them. And with Dragon popping up, you would think there would be some common sense saying there might be something here. Oh, lo and behold, there was someone there. Let's see how Gangplank fares. We already know Trist is f***ing dead. I decide, well, one teammate's already dead, the other two have burned summoners. I'm gonna push mid, because there's no way I'm gonna int for that f***ing Drake. I'm Udyr, so I don't feel any compunction with overextending. I can't remember what happens at this point, but... Oh, yeah. No, I remember now. I feel like we should cue some Benny Hill music. I don't really know how the rest of it goes. Anyway, they chased for 9 million years. And to really highlight how big I was at this point, this is Jhin, right? He's not fed, but he's not doing bad. And with their whole team here, I say f*** it. And I just straight tower dive him. This is what Trist was raging about. This is why I don't appreciate people being like, if you don't gank for me 8 minutes, I'm inting. It's like, if you just let me play, I'm not saying I'm challenger, but I'll do things. Just let me do things. And meanwhile, Trist is down here pushing. I can respect that. At this point, team fighting is just not working, so maybe we can make some picks like I just did. So I start pulling their attention. I'm trying to make them waste as much of the Baron buff as possible. We see 4 mid. I do a little counter jungling. Now I start backing. A wave's coming up. At this point, I don't know what to do. I'm perfectly open to criticism on this. You know, they did have a wave. They were strong. Maybe I should have just backed, but honestly, like, I don't even know. I mean, at this point, I have no words at this point in the game. At this point in the game, I can do stuff like make picks, but this right here is what I'm talking about. Even Ash is calling for the report. If my lack of chat was giving anyone any suspicion that I was misleading you into thinking she was toxic without any evidence, let this be supporting evidence. Yeah. Yeah. That is the player that was threatening to int if I didn't gank. I don't know how many times, that's either the second or the third one I recorded of her just straight diving towers. Now you might think the game is over at this point, and you'd be right, but it's not quite over just this second. Now it's over. The 4, 9, and 6, 149 CS Tristana, who had 4,240 gold less than me, if my math is correct, was talking shit on the 11, 4, and 6 with 201 CS Udyr. I had the highest kill participation on our team, tied with Malphite. I had the highest CS in the game. I was perhaps making mistakes, undoubtedly. No, let's be honest. That Dragon Flash and that Lucian dive were definitely mistakes. The point of all of this is that Trist was talking shit on the team's strongest player. The last person you're supposed to piss off. The person who you should work with. But no, before she even gives the players on her team a chance to show them what they're made of, she's instantly toxic. I will int at 8 minutes if you don't gank. And this player's name, in case you missed it, 7 Seasons Gold. Now, I don't want you guys messaging her, don't add this person, don't harass them, but 7 Seasons Gold, I believe that username. 7 Seasons Gold, I have no doubt, and I have every reason to believe it has something to do with being toxic before the game has even gone bad. And that is the pilot to my League of Legends Toxicity series. And because it's League of Legends, I have no doubt there will be an abundance of footage. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.